Alan, did you see Paint?
Yes, I did.
Let's talk about Paint. It is the story of Carl Nargle. And this is not, I repeat, this is not a Bob Ross biopic. It is loosely based on Bob Ross. But it does start out with Owen Wilson as Carl Nargle. And he is a painter who paints idyllic and scenic mountain views, forest views, nature. And he has this huge show on a local PBS channel. And Carl is beloved by his ex-wife, who is also a producer on the show. He is the apple of the eye of all the women who work on the show. All have a crush on him. They all have had their dalliances with Carl. He's kind of set in his ways with this old school haircut. He unashamedly wears socks with sandals. And he's a caricature of Bob Ross. He is challenged when a new painting show appears on the network, which actually they wanted to expand Carl's show into 2 hours, and he didn't want to do 2 hours a day. That would be 2 paintings a day. So what happens is they bring in somebody new, Ambrosia, and it's the same show, but is a young woman named Ambrosia doing paintings. Kind of the same, but she's wild because she'll paint not just, scenes of nature, but UFOs and lightsabers. This is actually
And blood.
In blood. It's weird. So, and this is where the conflict arises is Carl Nargle begins to see his entire career unravel. He's not respected. He does these nature paintings, but even the local museum doesn't have any of his paintings there, even though he's a local legend. And it is it's a comedy that's one of those, it's not ridiculous and over the top, but Owen Wilson is chewing the scenery in every scene. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine as a comedy. I just I think it's confusing to people because almost everyone thinks this is a Bob Ross biopic. It is not that. It is completely fictional. It also has an ending that I thought the ending really paid off. I was sort of towards the middle. I'm like, come on, where's this going? Where is this going? How much humiliation can he endure? And then the ending brought it home for me. So I would say a mild recommendation for Paint. It's one of those, I saw it in the theater last night, but I actually think you might enjoy it better just catching it on streaming.
Yeah, I believe it's on Amazon Prime.
It's in theaters, but I was in a theater with 3 other people. Excuse me. Sorry. I don't know if
you okay?
No, I spilled coffee on myself.
Oh, okay.
And I'm whatever. It's a dark shirt. It's not a big deal. But no, I thought Paint was mildly entertaining. I would say if I caught it on a streaming, I would enjoy it. I don't rush to the theater to see it, but perfectly enjoyable, clever comedy, loosely based on the life of Bob Ross. It's not based on the characters, loosely based on aspects of Bob Ross. It is not Bob Ross. I saw the documentary about Bob Ross that's actually on Netflix, which is really tragic, actually, because it's about who owns basically the licensing rights to Bob Ross as a person. And it's a fascinating documentary. So I would recommend pairing that documentary with the movie Paint. So mild recommendation. It was entertaining and fun. Don't rush to the theater to check it out. Alan, what did you think of Paint?
Yeah, definitely did not like it as much as you did. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, not knowing anything about it, I assumed it would be a Bob Ross movie, and it wasn't. And I think that really threw me off because I think that would have made a much better story than this one. This is the common criticism I have. We get a lot of independent films submitted to us, comedies, and this movie kind of epitomizes my criticism a lot of the indie comedies that we get. It's this idea that we're going to present a funny, humorous idea and never give you a punchline, never give you a payoff, something to really laugh at. The sense is, hey, this is a really weird idea. If we just play out this weird idea throughout an entire film, people will love it and people will enjoy it. And that doesn't work. Not only see, like, yeah, the connection with Bob Ross is he paints landscapes, he works for PBS, and he's got the hair down. But believe it or not, this movie takes place today, in modern times. They're still, they have cell phones, they have all that stuff. And so it's kind of this weird, we look like we live in the 70s, but we live in the present. I guess that's a funny idea, but they never really pay it off other than just to present the idea. And this is what this movie is. It's just constant, hey, this is a weird thought. This is a weird idea. Let's just throw it on screen and hope audiences will find it funny. And it just becomes tiresome. And the movie, I mean, I guess there's a poignant ending, but it's not like I haven't seen that ending in a million comedies and million dramas. And so it was just like, I feel like when I walked away was that this movie had potential of being a Bob Ross comedy, and it didn't give us any of that, and just walked away feeling really disappointed and kind of like I just wasted another 90 minutes of my life. So that's 4.5 hours this week, which I'm just sitting through really mediocre, really bad movies. And that's why I didn't see the Indiana Jones trailer.
Well, okay,
4.5 hours.
Okay, and I'll say this: my mild recommendation is catch this on streaming when it's out for streaming. Don't rush to it's in theaters today, but don't make it a point to go see it. It's not worth rushing to the theater unless maybe you have A-list and you're like, well, I've seen everything. I'm gonna go check it out, but don't recommend it.
It's got some really good actors in it. I mean, Owen Wilson, Stephen Root, Michaela Watkins, Wendy Covey. Oh, I forget her. You know who I'm talking about. Oh, Wendy McClendon Covey.
Right.
And they're good, but the movie is just a huge letdown.